Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the BrianTMurray YouTube channel. I'm your host, Brian. I want to start my new series that I'm very excited about. The name of the series is called The Vault. The Vault. And what The Vault is, it will be a variety of stories, personal stories, people I've met, experiences I've been through, interesting interactions, kind of help humanize, who I am. Though I think I've been pretty transparent in all my videos. If anything, a little too transparent. But hey, people have an attachment on people that they think they know. So we'll do that. So I want to tell a story. The story I want to tell is I want to call all this Trump supporters at the Regal Beagle. Trump supporters at the Regal Beagle. Trump supporters at the Regal Beagle. Oh my goodness. So I also give nicknames and everything that kind of help protect the people and all that are involved. But the most important thing is you gotta get the story told. So Trump supporters at the Regal Beagle. So this was approximately 365 days ago when the first Trump rally took place in September of 2020. So as you know, it was a very interesting year, very chaotic year, like a year we haven't seen since the 60s or heard about or read about in school. So it was a Saturday where all the Trump supporters was coming from nationwide to DC to march and everything, so forth and so on. So in DC, you had a lot of craziness. So Northwest DC looked like the backwoods of South Carolina. Okay. Which is a very grueling thought. Is because those of you that have been to Washington D.C. know it's very diverse and very upbeat, very up tempo. This was different. This was a lot of rednecks. Now rednecks is not a term that I use. It is not a term of endearment, but it is what it is. Okay, and this was just interesting to say the least. So last year I'm done doing filming and everything. So as I typically do, I go and get something to eat from my favorite establishment. I call it the Regal Beagle, to watch the college football games that are still on or what have you, and just catch up and socialize. And I do that because it's especially so important to do that in 2020, where especially if you live alone, you have no connection. Okay, so that is just important to me. So during COVID, number one, I was spared by God to not catch anything. I didn't test positive or anything, and I was one of the first people to get fully vaccinated. So this time last year, there was no vaccine. Okay, so nothing was being issued, nothing was being offered. So I went to catch the games and get something to eat, all good. So all of that is happening. So I walk into the Regal Beagle, and it's like 99% white people. And it's like, what? Because typically it's like maybe 60% white people, 40% minorities on any given Saturday, and its busiest time is Saturday night. Okay, so I walk in, and I think the only thing was missing was like some banjo music. I mean, it was just insane. So I was like, oh, what's happening here? So when I'm home doing filming, I'm not cognizant of all that's happening in the city. I don't know what's going on in the city until one, I catch a YouTube video of what's happening, or if I go out. So when I walk in, I'm like, yeesh, Jesus Lord, what is happening in here tonight? So one of my favorite people, she always greets me at the door with love and compassion. I appreciate it so much. And she comes to me and say, hey, how are you? I always give a warm embrace. So she's like, yeah, it's crazy in the night. I was like, Now keep in mind, she's been dealing with it all day and the night before on Friday night. So I'm just coming into reality to find out what's what. So you have all of that going on. So they had the upstairs open. So I was like, okay, cool. So they seat me upstairs. So I go upstairs and upstairs is empty. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. So I'm upstairs. I'm watching, I think, Oregon and Wazoo. Yeah, so I'm up there with the three cutest waitresses there that I'm all friends with. Their nicknames are Sack, Buff, and Columbia. Columbia that night I just made friends with her. We actually met. It's because for the prior month and a half, she'll see me and we'll make eye contact. It's like the art of introducing yourself to someone or whatever, but it's just not there like it was in times past. So as far as in terms of Columbia, I spoke to her. I was like, hey, how are you? And she was like, oh, hey. It shocked her. It's because I know when I'm not actively talking or smiling, I have a very neutral face. That's fine because I'm a man. That is quite all right. So when I spoke to her, either I spoke to her or she spoke to me, because I remember I had on a gray hoodie and I had a Oakland Raiders hat, so everything matched. So she said her father was a huge Raiders fan. I was like, I'm not a Raiders fan. It just matches my hoodie and it matches my tennis shoes, but it broke the ice. So we'll talk in passing, whatever, blah 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 blah. So Buff came up and she was my server. I was like, great. And Sack was up there as well. So I was like, oh, this is great. When you're at home working and you're in the vicinity of the three cutest waitresses, everything is good. So everything is cool. I order one of my usuals and everything. Okay, everything is fine. So everything is cool. We're talking, laughing, whatever. They checking on the other customers and everything. Everything's cool. Then you hear all this noise, and they let in a party of Trump supporters who from my understanding, came from different parts of the country. And there was like 20 of them. And they were seated in the center of the upstairs dining room. So I was like, okay. Because my concern was, I was concerned about the waitresses. When you have a lot of middle-aged rednecks, and you have cute waitresses that's young enough to be their daughters, that typically don't play out well. So little did I know They were concerned about me. Little did they know I was concerned about them. So the assistant manager, my nickname for her is Amanda Siri. Amanda Siri, because she looks just like Amanda Siri. Woo, bless God. So, she comes to my table's like, is everything good? I'm like, yeah, everything's cool. She's like, okay. You know, if you want me to move you downstairs, I can do that for you. I was like, oh, okay. Because number one, we're not saying it, but like we know what was happening. In 2020, the Trump supporters have been very anti-black people, among other things. So to see this single young black guy sitting up there by himself, you know, she didn't want anybody to try me. That's cool, because I didn't want anybody to try me either. She said, if you want me to move you, just let me know. I was like, okay, cool. Do you think I should move? She was like, that's really up to you. I'm just letting you know I'm presenting the option to you. I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm good. I think I'm good, okay? Because when I came in, it was crowded downstairs. So it's like, as long as you're in here, you're not going to get away from it, okay? Because Trump supporters got to eat too. It's like, ooh, all this whole day of being racist, it makes me hungry. So, all right. Towards the end of the night, everything's cool. I'm watching the game. Oregon loses, by the way. What was also what was strange, I was texting Pastor Hennet, and I was like, yo, I think it's snow. It's snow in Washington State. It's because they're like packs and piles of snow on the sideline. That's crazy. It's November here. Wow. I'm sorry. It is September, maybe even October. It's September here. This is crazy, man. It's like, yeah. Okay. So fast forward. One of the gentlemen from the Trump supporters party walked over to me. So I'm like, yes. He says, yes, sir. We're from out of town, and I just wanna know, could I bother you, because I want to take a picture of the mural that's behind you. I was like, oh, sure. I got up, whatever. So Sack is in the kitchen. So Sack pops right on out, and she stands in between the both of us, like, she ain't say it. She didn't gesture it, but she was just making it clear. Are we having a problem? Let me tell you, I never in my life felt so protected. Now, this is a funny story, but yet this is still a sad story. I'm in my 40s. I am a black man, the youngest of 3 children, and I had never felt so protected. From the moment I walked in to the moment I left there that night, I've never felt so protected. And there was this cocoon of reassurance and protection from white people. Because I remember Kyle was working that night. And Kyle kept coming upstairs, and he also would check on me, like, hey, man, everything good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, I'm just checking on you. Right, it's like, it's literally the elephant in the room. It's like, yo, we have our favorite person here. He so happens to be black. Let's make sure he's all good, okay? That's how it is. That is how it is. And I was texting these emotions to Pastor Henry, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy because this is a good, great feeling, but yet it's also sad. So Sack came out. Sack is about 5'2", 5'3", 120 pounds. Ready to throw down if it went there. I told my father the story earlier this week. He was like, well, what was she supposed to do? I was like, I don't think that is the point. just the thought that someone is standing up for you. Because in particular as black men, we don't have that feeling. We're so busy standing up for other people that there's no one to stand for us. We don't even stand for each other, if you think about it. Unless you have your own, as the rational male says, unless you have your own tribe, there's no one coming to save you. There's no one coming to save you. And no one knows that better than myself. So the gentleman takes all his pictures, whatever, and I sit back down. The crowd gets rowdy. There was some touching and groping. I don't know groping, but definitely touching. Maybe the groping what was implied, but Columbia and Sack would come over to my table, roll their eyes, complain like, yo, I don't like people touching me. I was like, I'm feeling. So Amanda Cerny would come up and make sure everything is orderly, and so I can only imagine the harassment she's been getting all day, all weekend. So I'm like, look, all we're doing is just looking out for each other in here, So all of that's happening, and then by still being COVID, the place closed. The Regal Beagle closed earlier because of COVID. Is because they didn't want restaurants to turn into bars, implying late night drinking or whatever while COVID was still running rampant. So the night ended, and I got all my hugs as I typically do. Look. When people just fall short of almost lining up to get their hug from you, from like a half dozen adjustable sixes, this is why black males go for non-black women. It's because above anything else, they're so much more nicer. No. Men have not changed over generations. It's the basic things. It's the basic things. And I just got my hugs and everything, and I just remember walking out of there, and I was like, that was an amazing experience. That was an amazing experience. I remember going back the next day to watch NFL football all day, and it was like asking, how are you? I was like, oh, I'm great, because Amanda Cerny was looking out for a brother, and she yelled back, she was like, that's right. Oh my goodness. Oh. Never forget that night. I will never forget that night. Because that's something I've never seen or experienced before and haven't experienced since. Non-black women, non-black people ready to step in if need be. For you. For me. That's it's like I could not put into words to Pastor Henry in a text what that meant to me. That was deep. I remember the following week, I was messaging my supervisor, telling her the story, and she posted back to me because we're working from home from the office, and she said, yeah, that lets you know if other white people is standing up for you, willing to stand up for you against other white people, that just shows how crazy that this world is. And I was like, absolutely. I told her I go there all the time. I'm friends with like 90% of the staff there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's just like, yeah, that is deep. I was like, yeah, that's very deep. That's very deep. So, that's my first installment of The Vault. The Trump supporters at the Regal Beagle. All right. It'll be more great stories coming soon. All right. I'll see you in a little bit. God bless. Bye.